Hi, I'm going to give a little introduction to biology and its field of action. This science studies life from different standpoints. The branches derived from this science are anatomy, anthropology, botany, embryology, biomedicine, biochemistry, cytology, genetics, histology, immunology, virology, and zoology. This list is not exhaustive since every day we acquire new knowledge about how life is integrated. Biology has allowed us to know the composition of material that passes the genetic information from one living thing to another. This knowledge supported the theory that life has a common ancestor which has continuously evolved. This evolution started with the prevalence of the archaea, then bacteria, and later the eukarya. Evolutionary change produced the appearance of the nucleus in the cell. Biology studies the interaction between living things, either cooperative or aggressive between them. Now I'm going to talk about how life originated in Earth. Some persistent questions that every human asks are how, why, and why are we on this planet, which we call Earth. The answers over the history have varied a lot, so we still not have a specific one. But how did life on the Earth originate? Well, as knowledge progressed and succeeded in establishing the principles and facts that could be demonstrated, other possible explanations for the origin of life were formulated. Some consider that the electrical activity in the atmosphere originated life. Others suggest that the creation of life occurred in the volcanoes. Some more say that the origin of life lies in the bottom of the oceans, and others that the living beings arrived transported by meteorites or comets. The truth until now is that everything that has previously happened gave rise to a system capable of storing information or to create various molecules and edit their modifications. The DNA was compact in such way that it only opens the areas that must be transcribed, translated, replicated, and keeps hidden those that will not be required.
So I'm going to talk about the characteristics of living beings. The first one is organization. All
The
living beings
postulates
are
of the solar
complexly
theory affirm
organized.
that
The second
all
one is
living
genetic
things are
code. These
made up
facts
of
show that
cells.
all living
The
beings come
second
from the same
theory
ancestral
is that
origin. The
every
third
cell
one is
comes
response to
from a
stimuli. All
pre-existing
living
one.
beings respond to
The
stimuli
next one
from internal
is
and
that
also
the
external
cell is
environments
the
such as light,
physiological
sound,
unit
temperature,
of life.
chemicals, among others.
The last
The
one
fourth one is
is
organizative.
that the
This
cell
one refers
contains
to a set of cell
the
population
hereditary
that ensures the
information.
life
We
strive to
can add
maintain
a
its
fifth
balance.
postulate.
And the fifth
The
one is
disease begins
metabolism.
in
In
the
order
cell.
for living beings to maintain homeostasis, they need to use energy. And metabolism refers to all the chemical reactions among the body of using and obtaining energy. The sixth one is growth. This one is simple. All living beings increase their volume. The seventh one is reproduction. In order for living beings to propagate their species, they need to reproduce themselves. And this one can be in three ways. Asexual reproduction, where there is genetic material, so the descendant will come exactly the same. Sexual reproduction, where there is genetic material, and asexual reproduction, which can be by conjugation, transduction, or transformation. The last one is adaptation and evolution. We know the world has changed and is changing, so in order for us to keep surviving, we need to adapt and evolve.
Well, I'm going to talk about the history of the microscope. The first microscope was invented by Zacharias Janssen. It has 3x and 9x, that is the actual size increased from 3 to 9 times. The next one was Robert Hooke in 1665, used for scientific purpose. Also, he introduced the concept of cells and lighting. His microscope has the magnification of 50 times. Years later, Antoine van Leeuwenhoek developed a new technique for lenses that allow him to observe samples with magnification up to 200 times. He published his results in 1684. The next topic is the cell. Robert Hooke observed the bark of the cork and he introduced the word cell from Latin cellulae, that means little chambers. Then, and German Leeuwenhoek observed spermatozoa, protozoa, and bacteria. Theodor Schwann and Matthias Slendern produced the first postulate of cell theory, that is, the cell is the elemental unit of plants and animals. Robert Brown described the nucleus in 1831. Johannes Evangelista Purgeot introduced the term of protoplasm to describe the cytoplasm in 1839. Rudolf A. introduced the mitochondria in 1857.
So now I'm going to talk about the eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. First, the prokaryotic cells are for bacteria and archaea. They don't have a nucleus, so their unique material is in the cytoplasm in an area called the nuclei, and they can be reproduced asexually or parsexually. Everything seems to indicate that there is no place on this planet where they can survive, so they survive everywhere, and they are structured by a cell wall, plasma membrane, DNA, cytoplasm, ribosomes, flagellum, chromosomes, and capsule. And regarding the metabolism, they can be aerobic or anaerobic. The other type of cells are the eukaryotic cells, which are for animals, plants, fungi, and protozoa. These ones do have a nucleus where the genetic material is confined. There are two types of eukaryotes, the animal cell and the plant cell. The animal cell is a little more complex. Both are structured by a nucleus, nucleolus, rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum, cytoskeleton, plasma membrane, ribosome, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, vacuole, ribosome, cytoplasm, peroxisome, and just the animal have centrioles, whereas the plant cell has chloroplast and a cell wall.
Everything that enters or leaves a cell has to pass through the cell membrane, which is an organelle that is present in all cell types. This process is carried out by cellular transport. Transport can be classified according to the amount of molecules that pass through the membrane. If they pass one by one, then transportation can be active or passive. The active transport spends energy and goes against gradients of concentration, and the passive transport doesn't waste energy and goes in favor of concentration gradient. It can be simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and ultrafiltration or diffusion. In the simple diffusion, the molecules cross the lipids by a layer. Gases such as carbon dioxide and oxygen pass through it freely. However, other small polar molecules with no electrical charge, such as water, can pass through the membrane only in small proportions. Large polar molecules with no electrical charge, such as glucose, can pass through it. In the facilitated diffusion, the passage of molecules depends on the presence of the integral membrane proteins that allow this passage. These proteins can form channels or complex transporters. In the ultrafiltration and dialysis, water and some solutes pass through a membrane due to hydrostatic pressure. The flow is from highest to lowest pressure. This is the case of the glomerular filtration in the kidneys to form urine. When the transport to a membrane is massive, that is, in large quantities of materials and with energy expenditure, then it is classified as endocytosis and exocytosis. In the endocytosis, the cell brings two molecules particles into its interiors, producing vesicles in the membrane. And in the exocytosis, the plasma membrane and the vesicle are releasing the content of the vesicle. There are 13 levels of organization. In sequence, they are represented as atoms, molecules, organelles, cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, organisms, population, community, ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. The first one is the atom, that is the most basic and fundamental unit of matter. The next is the molecule, that is the formation of chemical bonds between two or more atoms. Then is the organelle, that is the subunit of a cell and consists of a group of functioning biomolecules. Next is the cell. It is considered as the basic unit and building block of life. Tissue. This level is a combination of different types of cells which perform specialized functions. The next one is the organ. It performs certain functions with the tissue. Then is the organ system, that are organs working together to perform certain functions. Two organ systems. Next is organism. An organism could either be unicellular or multicellular. Population. Population is the term used in reference to a group of organisms which belong to the same species. Then is community, that are two or more populations together. Next is ecosystem, that is defined as an area or environment where one or more communities can thrive and flourish. Biome. It is an entity that is similar to an ecosystem. The definition of this stage is made in terms of the conditions that are situated to a group of communities. And the last one is biosphere. It is simply defined as a place, area, and zone where the entire life on Earth exists.
Hi, my name is Sofia Melchor and I'm gonna talk about two topics. First of all, I'm gonna talk about the organ systems. An organ system is a group of anatomical structures that work together to perform a specific function or task. Although we learn about each organ system as a distinct entity, the functions of the body's organ systems overlap considerably, and your body could not function without the cooperation of all of its organ systems. In fact, the failure of even one organ system could lead to severe disability or even death. The human body is composed of 11 organ systems. These include the following: the organ system, the nervous system, includes the brain, spinal cord, autonomic and somatic nerves, involuntary and voluntary nerves, and all sensory organs, including those that serve vision, smell, sensation, balance, hearing, and taste. Now we have the circulatory system, which includes your heart, blood vessels, and blood. Your circulatory system is responsible to delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. Now we have the lymphatic system. It's made up of the lymphatic vessels, which travel with your blood vessels, and the lymph nodes, where immune cells are produced. The lymphatic system also transports fats absorbed from your intestine and carries immune cells from one place to another in your body. Now we have the integumentary system. Includes your skin, hair, subconscious fat, and nails. The integumentary system offers protection from the environment, provides form and individual recognition characteristics, and aids in temperature and water regulation. Now we have the muscular system that includes the skeletal muscles, but excludes smooth and cardiac muscles, which are included in other organ systems. Now we have this skeletal system that is composed of bones, joints, cartilage, ligaments, and tendons. Your skeleton provides structural support and protection from your internal organs in cooperation with your muscular system, like we said before.
Your skeletal system participates in movement and locomotion. Now we have the respiratory system, in which encompasses the organs of breathing, which includes your nose, mouth, throat, trachea, bronchia, lungs, and diaphragm. Now it is the endocrine system, which is the collection of glands to produce hormones that regulate metabolism, growth and development, tissue function, sexual function, reproduction, sleep and mood, among other things. Now, the urinary and excretory system is a system of organism body that performs the function of excretion, the bodily process of discharging wastes. The excretory system is responsible for the elimination of wastes produced by homeostasis. Now we have the reproductive system. There's two of them, the female reproductive system and the male reproductive system. The female reproductive system, the female reproductive organs are the vagina, womb, that is the uterus, fallopian tubes, and ovaries, while the male reproduction system organs are the penis, the testicles, the epididymis, the vas deferens, and prostate gland. Now, we have to find one, that is the digestive system. This is made up of gastrointestinal tract, also called the GI tract or digestive tract, and the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. The GI tract is a series of hollow organs joined in a long twisting tube from the mouth to the anus. The hollow organs that make up to the GI tract are the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, large intestine, and anus. The liver, pancreas, and gallbladder are the solid organs of the digestive system. Now we're going to the next topic, that is homeostasis. Homeostasis is the ability or tendency of a living organism to keep the conditions inside it the same despite any changes in the conditions around it. This preservation of internal conditions is achieved thanks to metabolism, which includes anabolic and catabolic reactions. The balance is reached thanks to the mechanism of self-regulation that every living being has. So now we will go on with the examples of homeostasis so we can know how homeostasis is really important to our bodies. One example is internal body temperature. The internal body temperature of human beings is a great example of homeostasis. When an individual is healthy, the body temperature stays at 37 centigrades. Now, the maintenance of glucose levels. Glucose is a type of sugar found in the bloodstream, but the body must maintain adequate glucose levels for a person to stay healthy. When glucose levels rise too high, the pancreas releases a hormone known as insulin. If these levels fall too low, the liver returns to levels. Another example is regulation of blood pressure. Maintaining blood pressure is an example of homeostasis. The heart can detect changes in blood pressures. If the blood pressure is too high naturally, the heart should slow down. While it is too slow, the heart will have to accelerate. The final example that we are going to see is the control of calcium. The regulation of calcium levels by the human body is an example of homeostasis. When the levels decrease, the parathyroid releases hormones. If calcium levels become very high, it helps to determine calcium in the bones and blood calcium levels.
Well, in this part of the video, I will talk about health and disease, health in adolescence, and healthy lifestyle. First, health is the state in which our body is executing normally all its functions. And disease, on the other hand, is the unhealthy condition of body or mind. Health is divided in three factors: social, physical, and mental. And all of the people think that physical is the most important, but that's not true because all that is connect because it constitutes all of our body. Social, no, mental is how we behave in our environment, and social is the environment that we are, like family, college, friends, etc. Well, now I will talk about the health in adolescence. Adolescence is the stage in which we make the transition between the childhood and the adulthood. This can vary between all the people, but normally is between the 11 to the 19. There are three factors that are involved that are people make more importance to the criticisms, and this have can make a disease like a disorder that are like anorexia or bulimia, and we can avoid that having a healthy lifestyle that is making this can vary between all the people, but normally is between the 11 to the 19. There are three factors that are involved that are the physical, the hormonal, and the psychosocial. Well, the physical is in women and men that are when you are growing in size. Also are the growth of body hair, and in hormonal that's the typical of the woman that is the menstruation, and in the men is when they start to ejaculate. And that are the most important physical changes and hormonal. There are a lot of changes, but that is the important. And how we can have a disease. Well, all the adolescents are in a stage in which they behave not normal, like they are more violent. And well, there are 7 factors that are sleep between 7 to 8 hours per day. Also have a breakfast every day because this give us energy for all the day. Also perform 3 meals a day and maintain the body weight in an acceptable limit, like be in the middle. Practice exercise that is important for the physical health and mental health. Also, don't consume alcohol and don't smoke. Thank you.